Yeah, so Yasmin, we are ready on the ECA page. We are live, so you can start, Yasmin.
A very good afternoon to everybody out there. A very warm welcome to everybody. A warm welcome to all our panelists. Today, we will be talking on the topic making learning fun with resources available at home. I'm Yasmin Uwais, Academic Director of Blueberry. I'm also consultant and trainer for Next Education, and I'm committee member of E.C.A I. I'm also your host for today. So let's begin with our topic. We have our four esteemed panelists over here. We have Kusum, we have Shweta, we have Kamal, we have Elizabeth. I would want to introduce you to all our panelists. Let me begin with Kusum. Kusum, she is the founder and trustee of Pyramid Global School, managing director of Pyramid Education Ventures. She is also the ECA territory head of Vasai. Hi, Kusum. Hello.
Hi,
And
Yasmin.
we have Elizabeth Simon. She is the principal of Pyramid Global School. She is also the director of Pyramid Kids Zone, Vasai. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome to the session. We have Shweta Ashish Bagul, our next panelist. She is the founder of Bright Beginning and International School and Learning Center. She is a preschool consultant and teacher trainer, and she is also the committee member of E.C.A I. Hi, Shweta. Welcome to the session. And finally, our final panelist, that is Kamal Kacholia. She is the principal at ST Kadam Vidyalaya, and she is a founder of Kids Corner Nursery and Small Wonders Nursery. She is also the territory head of E.C.A I Palghar, and she is also a passionate painter. A very warm welcome, Kamal. A very warm welcome again to all of you and to our panelists. Now, moving ahead to our topic for today, that is making learning fun with resources at home. So, it is often said that home is the first school of a child, and the parents are the first teachers. Especially now, when we see that, in this situation, when 24/7 children are at home, parents are a little curious on how do they keep children engaged, how do they make learning happen, which would actually happen if they would be going to school. So in this session, our esteemed panelists will be giving us a variety of activities. They'll be giving us different ideas on how to keep children engaged. They would also be talking on what different domains we could develop by these activities. So my first question would be to Kusum Jain. Here, Kusum Jain.
Hi, Yasmin.
Kusum Jain,
Yes.
yeah, hi Kusum. So today, Kusum Jain, she will be talking on creativity. I think when we say creativity, we always think of, maybe art or craft, drama, but creativity means, I think, more to that. It's more. So what does creativity mean, Kusum?
Yeah, Yasmin, creativity itself is a big no. So for me, creativity is an inborn ability. It is a
Yes.
form of expression which
Mm-hmm.
allows emotions, ideas, and thoughts into something beautiful and concrete. I mean, uh, it's just not oh, say, just art or craft or music or cooking. It's a huge. There are not many things when it is creativity. Creativity can be
Yes.
anything and everything. So to I mean, why is it important? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Kusum, we
So,
can hear you.
as we all know, children are inborn innovators with vivid
Yes.
imagination and unique methods of self expression. In the early
Very
years,
true.
they are like clay and
Yes.
completely moldable. So
Absolutely.
when given an opportunity, without even restrictions or expectations or judgment, they would
Hmm.
surprise us with a different variety of creativeness in their arts, craft, or maybe in writing skills or cooking skills. So also during the early years, when they encouraged to explore,
Yes.
there's a physical development, there's a mental development, there's a psychological, there's intellectual development happening. Simultaneously,
Very true.
yeah, simultaneously happening, over a period of time. Children who are creative
Hmm.
are people who, find out ways. They are like, they can, what do you say? They can cope up with uncertainties, easily. I mean,
Yes.
yeah. So I think people who are creative are like, street smart.
Yes, very true.
Yeah.
Fine. So, why do you think it's important, Kusum, to develop creativity in the early years of a child? Because when we say they're just small children, right?
Hmm.
They just need to learn the ABCs or the one, two, threes. So, why do we need to
Hmm.
develop creativity in the early years?
That's what I answered earlier, Yasmin, that when they are very small, they are like clay,
Yes.
easily moldable.
Yes.
Moldable. Yeah.
Fine.
So you can, that's what.
Fine. So, could you suggest some activities, Kusum, like which would help parents to develop creativity, maybe in this at this time at home?
Actually, you know what? When you say creativity at home, it just reminds me of my childhood. When
Yes.
you know when we were in a huge family, and my
Okay.
mother used to, like, she used to make so much of atta and all that stuff, and then
Hmm.
how to keep us engaged. So she used to
Hmm.
just give us the dough. Okay, and now
Okay.
she used to say do anything, but not round puris.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So not round puris for sure. So we were like, we used to just think, abhi iska karna kya hai? So sometimes we used to
Yeah.
make utensils like kadhai, pan, flowers, sometimes even ladders and choti we have been making.
Oh wow,
We
that's
made
really
moons
creative.
and stars
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all that. So yeah, I
Ha, ha.
mean, and this would, make my mom's work also half. And then she used to fry us and give it to us to
Okay.
eat. So that was
Hmm.
really
Hmm,
like,
hmm.
I mean, that was something, I mean, we would like, really
Sense of
love doing all this.
achievement, like yeah, sense of achievement
Yeah.
that you
And
made
we would not
something
feel
and
it's like a work, but something unique we would come up with, like
okay.
everybody. So
Yes. Yes.
yeah. So during this time, we also have, so during this lockdown period, we have also tried a few things with our children at home. Like
Okay.
if you see, we have created some finger puppets.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So these are the finger puppets that we have created.
Wow, really nice. So cute.
Very small. They can just put them in their finger, say some stories, or
Yeah.
make them walk or talk or something like that. This is the lacing board that we have made.
Okay. I
Okay.
think with just
Yeah.
normal cardboard or something, we can
Yeah,
just make it like
it's
at
the
home.
cardboard from the waste paper boxes and all that. Those waste
Yes.
boxes that we get, we painted them. So first we made the
Okay.
holes and different shapes.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lace which goes through it. This is what we
Yeah.
created.
Mm-hmm.
So from the newspaper, we removed some, pictures of a boat and a ship. This
Oh
is the moon
wow,
that,
that's
yeah.
really super.
So, some
I
stars.
mean,
This is
usually we
all
think
out of waste.
newspaper, okay, just read or just crumple it, but just cutting out pictures and that's
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
creative.
That's it. So we also tried this thing which I had done when I said no, when I
Okay.
was small, I had done. So I just wanted to know
Mm-hmm.
whether these children will be doing now also the same thing or not. But it surprised me; they did much better, and they had
Okay.
much. Yeah. See, this is if you can see that. I don't know how. So they have made with dough.
With the
Can you
dough.
see
Okay.
that? So they
I
have
think
created
absolutely not
ladder,
clear, but
flower,
okay.
yeah, a finger ring and jalebi and chakri and all that stuff they have
Oh
created.
wow, that's really
So
good.
I mean, yeah. So I think if given them an opportunity, they would definitely come up with different, thoughts and express them in some or the other form.
I
Yeah.
think this Atta memory is a, I think it's a common, I think all of us remember doing this when we were small, right? Making
Right,
different
right,
things.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, yeah, great, great. Fine. So I think that's really wonderful, Kusum. I think you have given us lovely ideas. We hope it will
Thank you
help our
so much.
parents. So, moving ahead to our next speaker, that is Elizabeth. Elizabeth will be talking on the social emotional development of children. So, when we say social emotional development, I think at this point of time, when we are sitting at home, we see that adults are going through a lot of turmoil. What about adults? But, our children, they are also going through the same turmoil. They're not able to meet their friends. They're not able to go to school. They're missing their tiffin time, their play time. And I think this is the time when the social emotional, what do you say, the feelings and fear and all these other emotions which are coming up in children, right? So what do you suggest, Elizabeth? Like, could you first tell us, like, what is social development and how do they benefit children? Elizabeth.
Hello, and thank you for the question. Social emotional development represents a specific domain of child development. And it's a gradual process through which a child acquires the capability to understand, experience, express, manage emotions. It is so vital and so important to connect with others. To help
Absolutely.
manage one's emotion, he builds healthy relationships, he knows how to relate to
Mhm.
others. So social
Mhm.
emotional skill is required to, it starts at birth. He understands when he relates to his parents. He's been seeing that as a small baby.
Yes.
So it starts right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how does it help children? It helps to make friends, it helps to connect. Like I said, they require to bond. Now,
Yes.
when we bond with friends, imagine a 5-year-old bonding. He gains confidence. He's able to resolve his own problems with his friends, share. All these are
Yes.
connected to his emotions. And the older
Yes.
children are able to manage conflicts, manage stress,
Mm-hmm.
make decisions, resist negative social pressures. They learn about their strengths and weaknesses. So this
Yes.
social emotional skills go way beyond to adulthood, because all
Mm-hmm.
our experiences, you and I, it all depends on events and people we met. So
Yes,
here the
absolutely.
social emotional skills helped us understand why something happened
Mm-hmm.
in this experience with us. So this is all about
Yes,
social emotions.
emotional development. Absolutely. Yeah. So, what do you think, Elizabeth? How are children handling the present pandemic situation? When it concerns with the social emotional development, how do you think they're handling it?
Okay, we are all going through a whirlwind of emotions, and the
Yeah.
impact could ripple beyond physical health and emotional overload. And this is
Very
affecting
true.
the very old and the very young.
Very true.
So you and I can handle it because we know
Mm.
what's happening outside, we know
Yes.
what's happening within us, but
Mm-hmm.
the little ones aren't able to. They are confused, they are anxious, they
Mm-hmm.
are going with the flow. Okay, the
Yes.
lockdown has increased. What do we do? They are hearing it all around. But imagine
Mm-hmm.
a 5-year-old going to school, sitting down on his desk to study, meeting
Mm-hmm.
his friends, having a snack break. Now the pattern has stopped and he
Yes.
can't understand why. So he's going through a lot of emotions. Some of them ask questions, some
Mm-hmm.
keep quiet, but they don't have the exact words to express what they are feeling. So,
Yes.
what happens? Bottled up emotions could either blow into emotional fear or blow out to anger, um, tantrums, unusual behavior. With the older kids, it could be depression, it could be self destructive, so many things. Now, look at our parents who are at home
Mm.
trying to keep up to a job online, wondering
Yes.
about their financial issues. So, there could be arguments, there could be fights, and the child is
Mm.
watching, but
Yes.
they don't know how to say, can you please calm down? So,
Mm.
I am telling you, parents, please calm down. We are all into it, we are fighting it together. But at this point of time, your child's emotional development is very important. The
Very, very
EQ,
important.
yeah,
Absolutely.
emotional quotient is very good. And if you all are together, you'll all get out much stronger than what you think.
Absolutely. I think so. I think, yeah. So with this message of, as Elizabeth said, calm down, I would go on to my next question. That is, Elizabeth, could you just suggest some activities, for our parents to help them, get these emotions out from the children? As you said, some of them are not able to talk. Some of them are not able to express their emotions. So what would you suggest? What should parents do then?
Yeah, like I said, it's extremely important and vital for children to talk about their feelings. They may have so many things to do,
Yeah.
like all my other panelists will suggest things, but they need to be
Mm.
emotionally well to do all of that. So I would
Yes.
say there has to be a time during the day where they can talk about their feelings. But you can't just come on, sit
Okay.
down and tell me how you feel.
Hmm.
So
You know.
I'm
Yeah.
suggesting three activities.
Hmm.
One is a
Okay.
emoji schedule. This is,
Hmm.
can you
Hmm.
all see this? Happy,
Hmm.
sad, angry. So you all,
Angry.
and
Okay.
children relate to this. They know
Yeah.
what emojis are. So you could make n number of them, and you could have a
Yes.
schedule.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
you could tell him whenever you're feeling happy or sad, you just
Hmm.
go put it up. And when
Okay.
you see it as a parent,
Hmm.
please
Hmm.
sit down and ask him why he is feeling sad. Talk to
Hmm.
him
Hmm.
about it. Say
Hmm.
you understand what he is going through. Make him feel he can
Hmm.
rely on you. Because there are
Hmm.
some parents who say, it's so weird you're feeling like this. It's so funny. There
Yeah.
are others out.
Why you angry today? I mean,
Don't do
what's
that.
yeah? Why you sad? You know, it's like
Exactly.
that. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So say you understand, give him a hug and give him that positive feel that, okay, my mom understands me, my dad understands me, right?
Yeah.
So that is
Yeah.
one. The next one would be stories. Now I know
Okay.
all of you parents are telling them a lot of stories, lot of books are
Hmm.
being read, lot of TV and screen time, but the stories that I am talking about is stories about your life, about
Very.
what you went through when you were young. So now,
Hmm.
what
Hmm. Hmm.
happens? You're talking about your emotions. So that
Okay.
gives him a push to talk about his, because you can talk about incident when you were grounded for being naughty and what you
Okay.
went through when your parents did that to you,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
best friend stopped talking to you, what you felt,
What?
how did you
Fine.
then make up.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So they feel very nice about all these things. So
Yes.
this
Absolutely.
thing about stories about my, like example, like Kusum remembers what her mother did for her.
Hmm.
She can still remember it at this point of time because she did something wonderful. So
Yes.
when you
Childhood
talk about
memories.
your,
Yeah.
yes, when you talk about your emotions,
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
will remember it that this happened to my parents and this is how they
Yes.
dealt with the emotion. So that's
And
one
then
thing. And the last one,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, and they just
the
relate
last
to it.
one,
Like yeah. Yes. Yes, Elizabeth.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Continue.
So the resources making learning fun, I would just say it's you parents. You are the resource. You don't need anything around. And the last one is yoga.
Yeah.
Yoga helps to remove all the negative feeling and reinforces positive feeling. So I think
Very.
all parents should do a few, 15 minutes of yoga, and it will do wonders to their emotional growth and well-being, because at this point
Yes.
of time that we are all into, the whole world is into, I think this would be the best time to keep the emotions of your complete family intact. So I would just
Absolutely.
wish everybody a good emotional bonding that you can do during this time. Otherwise, we are always fighting for time. We are always
Yes.
complaining about
Yes. That we don't have time, and now we have a lot of time. So
it. Lot
get
of
good
time.
use
Use
of
it.
it, right? Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Lovely. Lovely. It was really great talking to you, Elizabeth. You have given us some
Thank
lovely
you.
ideas and activities over there. I think it should help
Yes.
our parents. Absolutely. Before moving on to our next speaker, I would request the audience over here to kindly fill in the feedback form as it is being shown. It is posted in the comment section. So please, your feedback is very important. It's very precious for us. So please do fill in the feedback form. Right. So let me continue with my session now. Okay, making learning fun with resources available at home. Coming to our next speaker, as we were already talking about yoga. So when we say yoga, I think there are various benefits of yoga. Now when we're just talking about social emotional development, there is other aspect to it, that is the physical development. So now we will be moving on to the physical development of the children, and for that I would pose my question to Kamal. Kamal, she will be talking on fine motor development of children, right? So Kamal, my question to you is, what do you mean by fine motor skills?
Okay. Hi to everyone, Yasmin. And
Hi, hi.
I would just like to say two things before I go on the fine motor. Is something that Kusum said, is that creativity is something that makes one individual different than the other one. That is your identity. In fact, that is
Yes,
one thing that gives you your individual personality. That I
yes,
totally
yes.
am for. And the second thing that Elizabeth has said, I'll just add on to that, is that in today's real world, I consider EQ through practical, what I have faced in my life. EQ is very more important than IQ, parents. So please work on
Absolutely.
the EQ of every child. And that is how I think if you follow what Elizabeth has said, it would be fabulous. Now, coming to
Absolutely.
what are fine motor skills, it's a very tough term, fine motor skills.
Hmm.
I think parents many times get confused, ये क्या है. सो उसको अपन सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं. जब हमारे
Hmm. Hmm.
छोटे मसल, हाथों के फिंगर्स और रिस्ट का उपयोग करते हैं, लाइक द यूज ऑफ द स्मॉल मसल्स इन योर हैंड, wrist, like folding of our
Yes,
fingers, that is called as fine motor skills. And fine motor
yes.
skills are very, very essential for the future of the child, for every activity that he does, from grasping a pencil to playing, to buttoning, to
To
playing
eating.
blocks,
Yes,
to
yes,
eating, to
absolutely.
everything in his life. I think if your fine motor skills are developed, it gives you the sense of independence
Yes,
from the
yes.
child. When you say, okay, I want to wear my own shoelaces, I want to wear my shoes, and I
Hmm.
want to put them on. So that is fine motor skills are basically needed for life skills. And in the near
Absolutely.
future, when we come to our computer world, it will even help you to type your computer keyboards.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah,
fine
very
motor
true.
skills. Yes.
So, when you say fine motor skills, what do you think is the importance of developing these skills in the children, Kamal?
Okay. The reason, there are a few things that I would want you to remember, parents and the teachers, is that fine motor skills, the first thing that the parent has to identify is the dominant hand and the helping hand. See, children generally tend to
Mm-hmm.
use both hands. When they initially start, even spoon, kabhi right se, kabhi left se, दो
Mm-hmm.
चम्मच इससे खाया, दो चम्मच इससे खाया. So, of course, by the grasping of the hand, you may not know, but whenever you give your child scribbling or
Yes.
any other thing where there is fine skills needed, you will realize that
Mm-hmm.
he's a right-handed child or he's a left-handed child. So once you know
Mm-hmm.
that, focusing your development for the right-handed child, as simple, if you have a bottle and a cap, which you have to put the cap on the bottle, the child uses his dominant hand to put the cap and hold with a helping hand the bottle.
Very
So
true.
that is fine motor skills. Now, learning them will help you for concentration skills, eye-hand
Yes.
coordination, better writing skills in the future. When the child
Mm-hmm.
learns to write and scribble, that's a process. So all these attention spans become good. All these things, it will be help if you know your fine motor skills well, if you do your fine motor skills well.
Absolutely, of course. Fine. Lovely ideas over there, Kamal. Could you please
Yeah.
suggest some activities, for parents so
Yeah.
that, they could do it at home with the basic
Yeah.
resources available?
See, with the schools being closed, there are a lot of things. I think एक घर एक पूरा भंडार है जहाँ से
Yes.
आप बहुत सारी चीजें निकाल के use कर सकते हैं. I've got simple things like I've got pegs here. I've got a small. You have plastic bowls at home. Just putting your pegs on these plastic bowls in a sequence,
Okay.
attaching numbers to it, putting these. So these
Mm-hmm.
are so simple. I've got a whole color of them. They can do different on different colors, so you can give those.
Hmm.
These are just tubes made and I've punched holes in them, for which
Okay.
I've used lacy threads. So you can use a
Mm-hmm.
shoelace. We've got everybody has an ice tray in the house. So,
Yes.
and you
This is
have
like just.
rajma, you have chickpeas, you got all
Mm-hmm.
those all these gray this thing you have uh,
Grains,
grains,
cereal, pulses. Yeah.
cereals. So you can use these to put it each with the hand also is important, or you can use a tweezer to put it. So you can give it
Okay.
part of your
Wow.
sequencing, right? The
Lovely.
other,
Yeah.
the most simplest is you all have newspapers. So make
Hmm.
scrunch, convert them into balls and use them for paper toss games. This is one of the best activity that you're using. See, when you're pressing, you're using
Huh.
your fine motor skills.
Yes.
We made clay in the house. using 1 bowl of baking flour and
Okay.
half bowl of salt, and just kneaded the
Mm-hmm.
dough with a little bit of water. Added food color. If you don't have color, you can add haldi to it. You can add beetroot, a
Yes.
little bit beetroot water, and add color
The
to it.
natural
And
colors,
you,
absolutely.
yeah, you can add colors. You can have rolling pins, and even you can just,
Very
if you
nice.
just have child to make small laddus with your hands and just make them like
Mm-hmm.
this. And
Okay.
if you give them, if you just, I think this much every parent can do, just a zigzag line. If you have these laddus
Okay.
made by the child and you
Huh.
put it on the, so it is a sequence,
Okay.
it's a concentration as well as a fine motor skill activity. So you can arrange
Wow,
these
lovely.
chickpeas and rajma on this
Mm-hmm.
alternately. You're just working on
Mm-hmm.
your fine motor skills, picking it up, putting it, sequencing. So you're learning
Yes.
a lot of things in this kind of
Eye-hand
multitask activity.
coordination.
Eye
Yeah,
hand
absolutely.
coordination, concentration, so you can use this. Then something that I totally believe in, and I think that everybody, folding clothes, buttoning shirts,
Huh.
shoelacing, all these are fantastic. Folding handkerchiefs, that's what my daughter did. She had 12
Okay.
of them and she used to fold them every
Oh,
day,
wow.
12 handkerchiefs, and using them and stacking them and putting them
Okay.
every morning to that. That was a ritual for her. And
Okay.
totally fantastic. I think that concentration skill. You have many pairs
Hmm.
of socks at home, mix them,
Yes.
just mix them in a basket and give it to the child, let him sort it out, let him mix it, let us fold it, let him make the pairs. So there are lots of activities which parents you can do
Lovely,
at home.
lovely.
Scissors,
Yes.
and scissor cutting is another thing which you can do, is, but I request you to use the regular paper cutting scissors with the round edge, not the
Yes.
pointed one.
With
Use
a very
those scissors.
blunt edge. And
Yeah,
under
please.
supervision. Yes.
Yeah, and under supervision, don't use a blunt scissor, because the child gives up. He says, "होता ही नहीं है मम्मा, रख दो इसको," और
Hmm.
वो पेपर फाड़ के उसका एक स्क्रंची बना के फेंक देगा. So, for parents, you are in for a lot of things which you can do at home. Thank you.
Lovely, lovely, Kamal. I think that was very nice. I think parents have got lots of activities now to keep their children engaged. Awesome.
Thank you.
Fine. So great. So moving on to our next speaker, our fourth panelist, that is Shweta. She will also be talking on the physical development, but she will be talking on gross motor skills, and she will also be talking on life skills, which I think is very important. So my question to you is, Shweta, is what do you mean by gross motor skills, first of all? And could you just suggest some activities on how to develop these skills in children?
So, good afternoon to all my dear friends. I would like to thank ECA to give me an opportunity to connect with all of you today. I'm sure and I hope you have a lot of takeaways after this session. So, now we have heard a lot about this term gross motor skills. So, for me, gross motor skills are the skills that develop through using the whole body muscles, which includes the arm, legs, and the trunk. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go into what are the different kinds of activities that we can do it at home, I think it is important for us to know the why. Okay, so I think
Yes.
when we take part in a gross motor skill, when we involve a child in the gross motor skill, it has a lot of positive impacts on the school readiness for the child. For example, the sitting posture, the way in which the child is reading a book, the way in which the child
Yes.
is sitting for writing, all those things also improve. Regular physical activity will help the child to achieve a long term, good health for the long run. Again, it develops a lot of confidence and self esteem as the child is able
Mm-hmm.
to take part in different games with other kids. Also, through research, we all know that physical activity helps to relieve stress and frustration, which is, I think, at the peak because all the kids are indoor these days. So,
Yes.
one physical activity which we can add to their daily routine, and again, very important is it has to be repeated and it has to be consistent. We just cannot do
Yes.
one activity once in a week.
In
I
a
don't
week
think it
or
is going
something.
to. So you
Yeah,
can
it has to
add
be
a
like, on a daily basis. Yes.
yes. So you can add variations to it, but fix a time wherein actually your entire family is getting into the exercise mode. So a
Yeah, absolutely.
few Yes. So few games that I would like to recommend is, as Elizabeth ma'am said, yoga. It has a lot of benefits. We all
Yes.
know that yoga is very good for our body, and kids love
Mm-hmm.
yoga exercises. Okay, basic stretching exercises. You can put any music and you can dance, or you can do stretching exercises on that
Okay.
music. All the kids have balls of various sizes. Okay, so there are multiple games that you can play with those simple things that are available at home. You can do a ball play. You can ask them to throw the ball in
Yes.
a box or in a bucket. Okay, you can keep glasses and do obstacle
Okay.
races. There are a lot
Okay.
of paper plate games also which are available, like balancing on a paper plate. You can play paper plate tennis. That is also a very good idea. Kids
Okay.
love jumping on the bed, but ideally, I don't think it is a good idea to jump on the bed. So what you can do is you can get the pillows down, make a balancing rod, ask
Okay.
the child to do balancing on a pillow, or you
I
can
think they
make
would
those.
love to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And bed sheet, you can use bed sheets and
Mm-hmm.
pullovers, and again make it
Yes.
into a balancing rod, and they can actually balance. I
Okay.
remember a game which we all have played in a birthday party, wherein there is a newspaper and the mother and the child is dancing on the newspaper. When the music
Uh,
stops, you need to stop, fold the newspaper. So it is so
hmm.
engaging, and so it adds a lot of delight to the child. I think every
It's
activity
and
that we
it's
are
a
trying to do with
newspaper,
the
like
child.
yeah, lovely.
Yes, and I think newspapers are available with us till now.
Yeah, lot.
That is,
That
yeah.
is one
So few
abundant resource.
activities, yes, but then it has to be consistent. It has to be
Yeah.
done every day, and I think repetition is something which every child likes. If they are able to do an activity
Mm-hmm.
today, and if they do the same activity tomorrow, they will not mind it doing on the third day. We want to add a lot of variations into our
Yeah.
activities, but I think some activities could be repeated also, so that the child is comfortable doing those activities. Okay, I would like
Okay.
to, end this discussion on gross motor skills by a very good quote by Madam Maria Montessori. So, according to her,
Okay.
movement or a physical activity is a very
Mm.
essential factor for their intellectual growth. Okay, which
Okay.
depends on the impressions that we, give it to them from outside. Through
Mm.
movement, we come across, we come in contact with the external reality, and it is
Okay.
through these contacts that we eventually acquire an abstract idea. So there is a
Okay.
lot of benefits of the gross motor exercises that we do with the child. It integrates the left and right brain, and actually
Yes,
they come out with
absolutely.
very good ideas when they are in movement. And I think we
Yes.
have to make it a habit to add at least 10 to 15 minutes of movement time into their routine.
Every day, yeah. So that, at least they're not sitting in one place.
Yes.
Absolutely. Lovely. Very good ideas.
Yes.
So, coming to my next question is about life skills. So, when we say life skills, Shweta, at this point of time, we would always talk about life skills, but now I think we understand the importance of life skills, because as we are sitting at home without any help, whether it be father or mother, they are, busy with their cooking and cutting and chopping and cleaning. And now we actually understand how important it is to learn life skills, right? And of course, to teach our children. So what do you first you could just tell me, like, what are life skills, and how do we inculcate life skills in our children?
So now we all know that the parents are so occupied with work at home. So, why not involve the young ones into our daily activities? So for me, life
Mm-hmm.
skills are basically precious lessons that your kids are going to use throughout their lifetime. Okay.
Yeah.
These are, I think, more important than our academic skills. And as
Mm-hmm.
we know, the kids need to manage their day-to-day challenges that they're going to face in life optimistically. So we
Yes.
all live in a gadget-centric environment where there is very less
Mm-hmm.
time for learning new things, more of machines and tons of options to distract the kids. Okay, so I think we should
Absolutely.
use this opportunity of lockdown to impart life skill
Mm.
education, where actually we
Yes.
can spend some time with the child to make him understand why life skills are important. Okay,
Yes.
so most
Very.
of the kids don't learn how to handle a real life situation till the time they are into a high school. So I think, why
Mm-hmm.
should we wait till the time that kids are turning teens? You can teach life
Yeah.
skills to them at a very early age, and it is, I think, very easy for them to understand. So for me, if I divide the life skills into two parts, so one is the practical life skills and one is handling the real life situation. Now when coming to a practical life skill, is basically we all know how important health and hygiene has become, pre-COVID, and after COVID it's going to be more
story actually.
Yeah, it's a different story altogether for a school, for a parent, for a child. So I think the child is never too young to learn about health and hygiene. Okay, we always tell the child, again and again, take a bath, brush your teeth, wash your hands, change your clothes. So, but then, we never tell them why. Okay, I think we have to take an opportunity to make him understand ki why brush the teeth, why to wash the hands. Okay, if you make them understand why, you could motivate the child. I think it takes around we all know 21 days cycle to get used to. So we can make a chart, okay, wherein you make a 21 days chart wherein the child is coloring, or the child is ticking, or the child is making a star, or you can get the sticker stars, or you can cut small stars and actually put it in the routine wherein the child is himself the child is himself putting a star on the chart. So it becomes a daily habit. Okay, and I think over a period of time, the child is mentally going to understand the checklist without even looking at the chart. So automatically it is going to get in sync with the child. Okay, similarly, I think decision making is a very important life skill, and the decision making skill has to be at a very early age. So basically, for an example, if the child is choosing a chocolate ice cream or a vanilla ice cream, if the child is choosing to play with the train or play with the car, so it is the child's choice that the child is doing, but the child needs to understand the pros and cons of the decision. Okay, what is what is he going to get rewarded by a good decision or a consequences of a bad decision? So these are small things that you can give a choice. You don't have to give a choice over everything, but I think two choices will help them understand the pros and cons of the decision. That is very important. Now, one more thing is time management. I think very important. Every parent knows how important time management is to keep your family on track. But again, for the child to learn the time management lessons, I think we all know how important. Now everybody's routine has gone divided. Okay,
everybody's multitasking, like work from home, housework, everything.
Yes. So not only teaching child to learn how to study a clock, how to stay on time, how to maintain a schedule is really very important. Okay, learning this is going to help them in the day-to-day routine. When the child is going to go to the primary section or the secondary section, I think keeping a tap on their time is very, very important. Now, one more important life skill is the meal preparation. Okay, so every child is interested in kitchen. Okay, how many ever toys that the child has, the child is very interested in what is happening in the kitchen. Okay, so I think a youngest child can also learn how to prepare a meal. Okay, we are not talking about a 5-course dinner, but then a basic sandwich. Okay, simple things that you add to their bucket every day. Making lime juice, this I think the season is going to support that. So let them do it every day. Even if they do it every day, they are really very happy. Even if they mix tang into the water also, for example, they actually enjoy it. Now, to give an example of what is happening in my house, my son actually enjoys making breakfast. He cooks breakfast for us every day. Actually teaching life skills and imparting life skills has helped me also and helped him also, because then he plans his own things. Tomorrow I'm going to make this, and these are the ingredients that I need, and that is the way in which he prepares. It is preparing him in many areas. I think cooking is something wherein you learn measurements, you learn the ingredients, you learn the materials. So I think a lot of takeaways from one cooking activity.
Just one activity.
Yes, and it can help the child to learn how to pack their own lunch tiffins also. I think when the school opens, they will be really happy to share something which they have made with their friends.
Yes, what they learned in the lockdown.
Yes, what they have done in the lockdown. Again, cleaning.
Yeah.
Cleaning is something which is very, basic, but then kids love using the sprays and the dusting cloth, keep their houses clean, keep their cupboards clean. And
Yes,
I think
yes.
there is a appropriate core chart that everybody can do according to the developmental milestone of the child, according to the age of the child. So, like, how to make your own bed, how to put your own clothes into the washing machine, how to remove your clothes from the after, help them, help mother dry the clothes. Okay, using cleaning the basins. Okay, these are small things, and they love to
Yes.
do the life. They are very happy to get involved, but I think because we are always in a hurry to go to work, or to finish our task, we don't give them that opportunity. And I think we should
Now is
use
the
this,
best time,
right?
like there are a lot of activities which we can think of.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. So I think these are
I love.
small cores that you can use in your daily routines, and
Mhm.
absolutely it is going to help the mother, the teacher, after the teacher
Yes.
is actually going to get back the child to the school, and definitely the child, because the child is really very happy with that independence. The child is able to do everything from the time the child gets up to the child sleeps, and everything has to
Sleeping.
be
Absolutely.
smoothly and without any reminders, without any stress to the parent. It has to be in flow with the day. I think life skills is
Yeah.
something which we need not reward every time the child is doing a life skill, because that is
Yes.
something which is making the child ready for life. So the child needs to
Mhm.
know that for everything that the child is doing for himself, the child need not be appreciated or complimented. This is something like brushing teeth. You need not give a star to the child, because brushing teeth is something which is very, very basic, and the child has to do it. And
Yes.
there is no
Absolutely.
yes or no, the child has to take
Mhm.
taking bath. So these are basic things which have to be into the child's routine every day. So that is what I
Very
feel about life.
wow, lovely. That was really great. I think you have given us lovely, lovely ideas over there. So I think time management, we've spoken about decision making skills. I think we have spoken about the social emotional development, creativity by Kusum, and the fine motor, gross motor development. So we have touched upon the different domains of development. So here we are left with just the cognitive and the language skills. When we say cognitive development, I think it's more to do with learning, memorizing, reasoning, logic. So when we say cognitive development, this is one area which is covered, like, which the development is always happening, whichever activity we do, whether it be a social emotional activity or a physical, or maybe a fine motor or gross motor activity or creativity. Cognitive development is constantly happening. And with language skills also, we are constantly interacting with our children. We are talking to them, we are sharing our ideas. They are asking us questions. So again, language skills is what is being developed constantly. So if you see, all the domains are being, they're being connected to each other. That's what we say. So one domain, it's just not, they're not in compartments. It's like, one domain is if there is development happening in one domain, there is development happening in the other domain as well. So I think we had a power pack session today. We had a lovely, I think, treasure box of activities over here for our parents from our panelists. Also, thanks a lot. Thank you, Kusum. Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, Elizabeth. And thank you, Kamal, for sharing these lovely activities. Thank you, ECA, for giving us this wonderful platform to share our ideas. I would want to tell a little bit about ECA. ECA, you can see the full form is Early Childhood Association. It's a not-for-profit organization. You can log into our website, ecaindia.org. And parents and educators out there, you could always become the lifetime members of ECA and avail all the benefits. So once again, I thank all the audience. I thank all the participants and the panelists. Yes, yes, Kamal, you would want
I
to.
just add one thing, as you rightly said, that all the domains are linked. But parents,
Yes, yes,
please do remember that each domain is going to take its time to develop. It is going to be a
yes, very
process.
true.
It's not going to be
Yes,
an
yes,
overnight
yes,
magic. So even
yes.
if it is
Just be a little patient.
or social emotional development, everything. Yes, it is understanding that you need to and create the environment and give the opportunity to the child to
Yes.
practice, to develop these skills. So that is
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
important, and consistently. Again, it's a
Yeah.
process
Very,
and it's consistent. So please do remember that. Thank you.
very,
Thank you.
very.
Yeah, I would suggest let's make these things as a habit for themselves. Let's
Yes.
create
And
Yes.
habits.
Shweta said,
It's yeah,
consistency is what is the secret.
consistency. Yeah, as Shweta said, there has to be consistency. So if it is an habit, things will just flow in the same direction.
Yes. And
Opportunity,
make this
consistency.
lockdown a very, valuable time, for
Yes,
our
yes,
children.
yes.
So once again, thank you everybody. I would
Thank you
request
so
our
much.
audience
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you
to
so much.
request
And
the audience out there to please, log into our feedback form and please give your precious feedback to us. I would again, once again, thank all of you all. And we hope that these activities would, help you and keep your children engaged and make learning fun for your children, with using the basic resources at home. Thank you.
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Bye bye.
Thank you.